Right, so to start off with, what was your influence for starting the food bank, and why did you decide to do it?
The food bank started completely by accident about 8 years ago now. A member of staff from the Conway Council department came thinking we were already a food bank, and she'd come across a family that had had a sudden bereavement and were struggling financially. And we weren't a food bank at that time, but a few of us nipped next door to Asda and bought some bits for this family. And at the time, a lady was in the building who worked at our local Marks and Spencer's, and within days we were signed up to Marks and Spencer's as a recipient of their Best Before produce, and we became a food bank. And it's just got bigger and bigger and busier as the years have gone on. We also do a uniform bank, so anybody that's in your school or any other local schools, if they've outgrown their uniform, they can't afford a new one, they can come here. If we've got the size, they can have it. If they're in a position to be able to donate to the food bank in exchange for the uniform, that's great. If not, they can just take the uniform. And we've also sort of spurred out into a baby bank now as well. So we have things that people might need for their new baby, like cribs and cots, nappies and things like that. So it's just evolved into something that's huge now that we never set out to be.
How many years have you been working with the food bank?
The food bank's been going 8 years now. I've been here 14 years, I think. So.
And how do people access the food bank?
We work with all different agencies, like most departments in Conway Council, local schools, teachers can contact us, doctors' surgeries, the police, social housing landlords. They just email me. We don't need the details of the person, we just need the size of the family and any ages of the children, or if it's a single person. And then they have to come and collect the parcel and take it to that person, because it could be my next door neighbour.
Yeah.
And just to save any embarrassment, we don't come into contact with the people that are receiving the parcels. Mm-hmm. At the moment, we're open from 8 o'clock in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, and then we're open in the evenings from 5:30 till 7. But we're accessible through our Facebook page. On our Facebook page, there's an option to send us a WhatsApp, which is free.
How did the food bank deal over lockdown and through COVID?
It was extremely busy, as you can imagine, but the community were absolutely amazing during that period. We were, as fast as parcels were going out, donations were coming in. Lots of the local shops that had to close, and even local garden centres that had to close suddenly, that had cafes, were turning up and donating all their produce to us. One of the Rydal School and St David's College, they had to close suddenly, and they'd got kitchens full of food, so they came down and donated it all. So the community were absolutely amazing during that period.
So it was a very positive thing.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
What age demographic uses the food bank most?
Mainly families with young children. We're starting to get more and more elderly people needing help because of the fuel poverty. Fuel poverty's always been there, but because a lot of these energy companies have gone bust lately, people are being signed up to a new one and their bill is doubling overnight. So there's a lot more people needing support that way than there was before. But it's right through. I mean, we've helped very, very young single mums who found themselves, in a situation where they've ended up having a baby and the family isn't there to support them, right the way through to pensioners. It's right across the board, really.
Can you remember any memories of the first Christmas?
We remember lots of the stories of why families need to rely on food banks. I don't want to sit and cry on camera, so I don't really want to go into detail. But a lot of people think that people that access a food bank are just sitting at home watching TV all day and don't want to go to work. But I can honestly say, hand on heart, the people that we're supporting, we never know their names or where they live, but we do get a little bit about the background. And these are normally people that just find themselves in a crisis situation very suddenly, through no fault of their own. It could be a bereavement, it could be a sudden serious illness to the main breadwinner of the family, and then the whole family suffers. There are some really, really sad stories that we've heard over the years, but just to know that we can help them for a few weeks and make life a little easier for a few weeks is amazing.
Do you enjoy running the food bank?
I think enjoy is the wrong word, because there shouldn't be a need for food banks. I would rather we weren't a food bank, but we enjoy being able to help people, because at any point we could all be in that situation. You know, in 3 weeks' time I might need a food bank, nobody knows. But we do enjoy being able to help people where we can, and we'll do what we can to help them.
So how can we help our community?
Donating. We rely completely on donations of food to keep the food bank going. Obviously we were closed all the way through COVID, like many other places were, and we rely on keeping this building open by hiring out space. Mm-hmm. We've only been able to hire out space since May, and it's very, very slowly building back up. Not everybody has come back that used to use it yet. So we don't have a pot of money for the food bank as such. We do get some donations of money, but not huge amounts and not regularly. So yeah, just keep donating. Be aware that, you know, if somebody that you see regularly suddenly isn't as happy or cheerful as they normally are, there could be a problem. And it could be something as simple as, you know, something's happened and they just need a little bit of help with food support.
So how can people donate?
You can donate by just turning up here while we're open with whatever supplies you can afford to donate.
How do people volunteer to help the charity?
Just get in touch with us. Just contact us either through Facebook or on email or on telephone. We've just recently had a volunteer from John Bright's doing his Welsh Baccalaureate, I think. Yeah.
What area of produce do you lack the most in or need the most?
We very, very rarely get fresh food donated, so we rarely get fresh fruit and fresh veg and fresh milk. Everything that goes into a parcel is usually a packet or a tin.
So fresh things?
Yeah, we very rarely. We tend to get that donated a little bit at Christmas. And if we get any monetary donations at Christmas, that's what we use it for. But as a rule, we don't get fresh produce donated.
So with young people volunteering, how many volunteers do you get in your local area?
At the moment, I've got one dedicated volunteer. He comes in practically every day. And we've got a young girl volunteering once a week at the moment as part of the Duke of Edinburgh. We can't get too many, A, because of the confidentiality, and B, the rooms are just not big enough at the moment with social distancing and everything. Come Christmas, we will get more volunteers wanting to help. So you'll probably find people on the corridors on tables packing boxes. But it's until the restrictions are eased off a bit, we've got to sort of regulate it to 2 or 3 at a time.
Do you donate out of Conway County area? Or?
We have done. We don't as a rule, but during COVID, we did donate parcels to people as far as Denbighshire. Because we're open 5 days a week. Some food banks are open 2 days or 3 days or whatever. So our contact details are with most agencies, and if they can't get a parcel from their immediate area, they'll contact us. But we have donated as far as Denbighshire that way and as far as Anglesey the other way. That's not a regular thing, but during COVID we were.
Is there anything that you suggest people donate this Friday?
Whatever they can spare, whatever they can. I mean, nobody has to go out and do a weekly shop to donate it, you know. With the amount of pupils in your school, if everybody bought 1 tin in, that would keep us going for a while. But no beans and no soup.
Okay.
We could give some to Asda. Everybody donates beans, soup and pasta, which we're grateful for, but We've got more than Asda, I'm sure.
So different variety of
Different
normal
varieties
things.
of
Okay.
things, yeah, if possible. And things like shower gel. Not many people donate toiletries, but we try and put shower gel, toothpaste and shampoo in. And nappies if we've got, I'm not asking people to donate nappies, they're expensive, but those are the types of things we put in parcels. If we know there's a baby in the family, we put nappies and wipes in, and baby food, because we quite often do get that donated.
Are sanitary products allowed to be allowed?
We've got more than Asda. We've got absolutely loads of those, but we do put those in as well, yeah. And we put cat and dog food in. Some people are a bit judgmental as to why somebody that needs a food bank doesn't get rid of their pet, but that could be the only thing they've got. And if it's a short-term issue that's been sorted, why should they have to get rid of, their cat or their dog? It could be the only thing that's keeping them going with their mental health as well.
Definitely.
So when we do get cat and dog food, we do put that in as well.
As you said earlier about Mrs. Hicks and the gifts, is that something you'd like to see more often? Because we're talking about it in school, doing another one this Christmas, because we saw how good it was for the community.
Yeah.
Would that be something you'd like to see again?
It would be good if it was highlighted, because a lot of people tend to think that food banks only help families, but we don't. We help a lot of single people, elderly people, and there's a lot of elderly, especially last year when the travel restrictions were in, there were an awful lot of elderly people that were cut off from their families. And what was nice in those gift bags, that some of you had actually written little notes telling them a bit about themselves, and that was lovely. They really, really liked that, because it was just contact with the outside world, and just to know that there's somebody out there, really.
Would it be a good idea if every year group did a little gift thing?
Or a little Christmas card with something, and you don't have to put any personal details in there, but just what you're studying in school, what you like to do out of school, things like that.
Note to your grandparents.
But they were really, in fact, some of the staff that were collecting them were in tears when they were collecting them. It's it gets quite emotional at Christmas. It really does. But, yeah.
Like you said earlier, when people who regularly donate, every once a week or every day, would they have at one point, do you know if they had suffered or not? Or?
Some people that donate to us donate because we've helped them. We've got at least 3 or 4 that I can think of that we've helped in the past, especially in COVID. If they contracted COVID, couldn't go to work, etc., and they donate back to us every week now, which is nice. But I don't want people to feel the need that they have to, but it's nice that people remember that we did help them out, so they're now helping us out. I've got a question for you all now.
Okay.
Why do you think food banks are important?
Because if people are ill and they can't get out to get stuff, they might fall ill even more and they'll have to go into a hospital.
We did that a lot during the lockdowns as well. People that didn't necessarily need a food bank but couldn't go shopping, we were leaving items on their doorsteps for them, especially elderly people that were more at risk than the rest of us from it. Did you all know about us as a food bank before you were asked to come here today?
Yeah.
Is that through school?
Yeah, also through your carers.
Oh, so you come here every Wednesday then? Right. Okay, I'll keep my eye out for you. The donations we get from John Bright's are absolutely phenomenal. Not just the food, the gifts from the teachers. One of the teachers did, I think she did 42 gift bags for us last year for the elderly. Mrs. Hicks Owen, and every one of them went. As soon as we told the relevant department that we had them, they were gone. And they go to people that would be on their own with absolutely no family contact over Christmas. So the donations we get from John Bright's are always overwhelming. They really are. We need to remove the stigma from people accessing food banks, because there are people out there that need it and won't ask for help for whatever reasons. But just donate what you can if you can, and hire our hall so we make some money.
Is there anything else that you would like people to know?
Yeah, just that we're here. Don't struggle. If you need help, it's all confidential. If somebody did contact us themselves rather than go through an agency worker or a council department. We would never turn anybody away, but just we're here to help. It's all in confidence and there's no judgment.